Uh, I'm, s- I'm scared, bro.
Dude, you're living.
Living. Ooh. You got the toes, dude. These Air Tommies haven't been worn in a while.
Hi, I'm Len Nessifer. I'm half Navajo, I'm half Scottish Romanian, with a PhD in engineering. And it's as confusing as it sounds. I used to work in government and academia, thinking I was saving the world. Turns out I was just wasting red tape, so I quit. Now, I'm pedaling up the Colorado River, the West's dwindling lifeline. Why? Because in 2026, after a century of mismanagement, stakeholders will renegotiate its future. This could be the river's last chance. So saddle up and join me. We're going to get uncomfortably close to the muddy reality. I've been on the road for over a week, and I'm all turned around. Seeing this river up close is a marvel of both nature and our ability to bend it to our will. The conversations I've had with folks have been challenging how I think about this river, which has me excited for Las Vegas, a city that many say shouldn't exist, yet defiantly it does. I'm here to figure out how cities in the desert Southwest sustain themselves, as well as look at some of the more controversial technologies aimed at curbing the climate crisis. First up, I stopped at the edge of town to meet Corey Enos of the Southern Nevada Water District at the headwaters of the Las Vegas Wash.
Oh, wow. I was not expecting this.
I must admit, when Corey mentioned meeting at the Wash, that's what they call the Las Vegas Water Recycling Facility. I was expecting an underwhelming trickle of water, a few stones, a bird bath, and a park bench. But this is its own river.
Everything in the city of Las Vegas, everything that touches a drain, every faucet in every hotel room, turn on the faucet, and it's not going to deplete from the amount of water that we withdraw from the Colorado River.
Oh, wow.
We're one of the few communities in the country that reuses 99% of everything that we use here in our community, indoors, makes its way back to Lake Mead.
That's a whopping 243,000 acre-feet of water, enough to fill 120 Great Pyramids of Giza, or 150 of the even greater local Luxor Pyramid. But what does make its way back actually mean?
Our water reclamation facilities treat it to near drinking water standards and then release that water, and it makes its way through the Las Vegas Wash, kind of like the kidneys. It cleans it up a little bit more. It's also a habitat for more than almost 1,000 vertebrates and invertebrates.
Wow.
So it serves multi-purposes, but it's a big and important part of the watershed here in Southern Nevada.
I just need to point out that there's something dystopian about a human-made wildlife habitat replacing its natural predecessor. But in this warp aquatic evolutionary cycle, Vegas has pulled off quite a feat here.
We've demonstrated an ability to grow without a one-to-one expansion of our water footprint.
Right.
Last year in 2023, we used 45 billion gallons less water than we did in 2002, with 780,000 more residents. So it can be done. You have to put a good plan in place, stick to that plan, and get the buy-in from your community.
We've seen a lot of not hopeful things on the trip thus far, but it's like, I think it's just like you said earlier. It's just like we're all one basin. We on the Colorado. It's like we have to work together to figure it out.
Who would have thought Sin City would become a patron saint of water conservation?
I'm on a high, so I cycled into town to meet with the Bellagio sustainability team on a barge in the middle of their famous lake. And yes, it's comical discussing environmental responsibility while floating on an 8.5-acre man-made body of water. But just so you know, this water too is recycled.
So we just came out on the barge out here on this is Lake Bellagio.
Yeah.
And just witnessed the crazy water show. That was really awesome to see. But we were chatting on the side a little bit about the work that you all have been doing around sustainability. You know, what's the motivation here, and you know, why here, why now?
Yeah, so we believe fully that a greener business is a better business, and so that's kind of at the highest level. And our areas of focus in environmental sustainability are around issues of energy, climate and carbon, water and waste. And so we have corporate goals that are intensity-based.
Michael and his team have put their money where their mouth is when it comes to sustainability. We're talking LEED certified facilities. That's leadership in energy and environmental design, a green building certification program used worldwide. Plus, they have their very own solar farm outside of town, a comprehensive plan to reduce water consumption, and a plan to reduce how much of their waste ends up in landfills.
Las Vegas' position in the world, in many ways, it's like the constraints are real and they're here today with the water. And looking out to the future, it's like, what does that planning look like for you? You know, how far are you looking out, and like how is that changing?
Yeah, my perception of Las Vegas before moving here was exactly what you said.
Right.
You know, it's excess and it's waste. And living here and being in this role, I've learned that it's not, especially as it relates to water.
And when you say this, taking the business in this direction is good for Bellagio, what does that look like, and what does that mean, at least in practice?
Often it can save money, but you know, it's the right thing to do, and we're here for the long term in the communities in which we operate, and so we have a long-term view and a long-term stake in sustainability.
I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. Sometimes progress comes from the most unlikely places.
I guess you can do this stuff if you save enough water, right?
Next up, I head to Calico Basin, where I'm meeting a friend Jonathan Segrist to go climbing.
God, I love this place, man.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's so good. Yeah, what do you think? Up on this ramp and then
Yeah, like I think
just like trend that way?
kind of trend a little bit here, and then we'll get in this mini gully thing. And
Sweet.
I think that little varnished wall up there is where we're going.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. This is fun.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to like come back out climbing for the first time in a year with
Yeah,
you. So,
yeah, dude.
yeah, dude.
That's awesome. I'm honored. And when we first moved here, no one understood at all. It was very like, why on earth would you ever move to somewhere like Las Vegas?
Was water a concern when you moved here?
I do have to admit that the more I learned about the water management and the water policies in Vegas, it made me feel way better about doing dishes.
Yeah.
Like letting water pass through the drain occasionally. I actually really appreciate the feeling that everyone's kind of pitching in, because it feels like a bit more of a team effort, you know? You see municipal planning around water, you see that like other neighbors are making sacrifices, you see that the extent to which the casinos are taking water seriously. And I think it makes you feel this sense of like, oh, like we're all just like doing our best here, you know? Like I think when there's a competitive nature around water, then you have this feeling of like, well, I gotta fucking water my lawn or else my neighbor's gonna use that water first or whatever, you know? But there's none of that feeling, I think, like around my neighborhood or with my friends or anything like that.
Wow.
I'm just gonna toss a cam in just to make sure that you don't deck. Oh yeah, first try.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay.
It's like you're a pro.
That woman, she got a hold on me. She's the one.
I need to come back to climbing. I really miss like being scared.
She's strongest scared, bro.
Dude, you're living.
Living.
She got a hold on me.
Nice, Len. There you go.
That girl, she's like the
Crazy.
Yeah.
wine.
Yeah, dude, now you're psyched, huh? It's so fun.
Give you a taste if you give her time. She's a
All right, ready, lower.
complex heart and I
Oh
don't
god, it's
mind.
so good to be back on rock.
Nice.
That girl, she's like the finest wine.
One sec. Gotcha.
That
Okay,
girl,
cool.
she's like the
So just hold tight. Hold
Yeah.
tight. It's coming, dude.
drink till my heart
Even the pro climbers get terrified. That's. Oh yeah.
me and I drink you.
We're meeting halfway. This is exactly how we should approach water issues. Jonathan is a 5'14" climber, and probably right now I'm a solid 5'9". He's meeting me where I'm at.
Wow, that's thin right there. Sot. Jugtown. All right, cool. You can take that, Len.
All right.
Lower as you see fit.
I'm probably gonna pull this dude off the ground.
Part of what has drawn me to Las Vegas was a weather modification campaign in Red Rock Canyon, just a stone's throw from where we're climbing. So I thought I'd ask Jonathan what he knew, if anything, about cloud seeding.
It's one of those mini kind of technologies in the world right now that the technology is just kind of ahead of government regulation. I think it's always kind of somehow comforted me that there were certain aspects of living on this planet that were outside of the realm and control of humans. And so, you know, like, I kind of like to some degree that we can do everything we want to, but we can't, like, you know, change the weather. We can't change the fact the sun is shining, you know? And so it kind of freaks me out that, like, I'm like, oh my God, if it ever becomes accessible to change those kind of like larger than like imaginable like things about the planet, then I just don't trust humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, I just don't. Like, I think that, you know, we've been given all these incredible opportunities to manipulate the environments that we're in and to also be conscious of the effects that we're having and stuff. And we've kind of proven so far that we're not good at it.
I can totally see how this concept does sound terrifying. I can also see why many people are asking, haven't we tinkered enough? And yet, curiosity gnaws at me. I felt compelled to see for myself what this modern day rain dance looks like. Local real estate agent Pauline Van Betten is going to show us a real world example of this power in practice.
So we're partnering with Desert Research Institute, and they've been doing cloud seeding for over 20 years. So they did a lot of research to find an area where the storms would travel right over the Red Rocks and then deliver the rain. So we got our spot and we put the cloud seeder up, and the first year was a really wet year, but we added over 2.6 billion gallons of water to this aquifer. Our aquifer has gone up 11 feet. 11 feet, right? And you can see, it looks good, right?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, we had the benefit of having two really wet years, but we bring, with the cloud seeder, about 10% more precipitation.
That's a staggering claim. So what does it take to cloud seed?
There's a meteorologist that's working all the time, and he's constantly monitoring the storms. So you have to have certain precise conditions, and then what they do is they take a very small amount of silver iodide and they propel it up into the clouds. And then because it has the same crystalline structure as a snowflake, the water will form around it and it'll make snowflakes, and then the snowflakes fall out.
Sounds fickle, but is it enough to end a drought?
We do have to keep in mind that we can't end drought because we have to have a storm in order to augment the storm. All we can really do is just kind of squeeze out the last bit of water, like get an extra 10% out of the clouds.
Right.
So, but you can see it's substantial.
So cloud seeding isn't exactly a silver bullet. Well, I guess it's silver, but let's not split hairs. The point is that while it's not a magical cure-all, it can make a measurable difference in water availability. That said, I can see why this technology is fodder for conspiracy theorists.
You know, I think there's a conspiracy theory for everything, and there's definitely one for cloud seeding. One of the comments that we get a lot is, why don't you just leave Mother Nature alone? And, you know, my reply is it's kind of too late for that.
Right.
Because we already didn't leave Mother Nature alone. We're responsible in large part for the suffering that the planet's having right now. I feel like we have I feel like if we can help, we have to help.
Right.
I feel it's our moral responsibility to help.
The claimed results at Red Rock Canyon are intriguing and potentially hold a possibility of another option for the drought-stricken Colorado River Basin. But still, the idea of modifying the weather seems unpredictable at the very least, even if, as Pauline points out, we are inadvertently doing this already. I wasn't done with cloud seeding, not even close. It was time to ride back into town to talk with Frank McDonough from the Desert Research Institute in between lectures at the National Weather Modification Conference.
Cloud seeding is being done in the Colorado River Basin right now, and the idea is to try to help the river have more water to offset some of the negative impacts that are decreasing the water supply in the river.
How does cloud seeding fit into that?
Cloud seeding is really the study of how aerosols interact with cloud particles to form precipitation. And this stuff's been done for 60, 70 years. We've studied the molecular structure of these dust particles. We know they have zero impact, nor are they predicted to have any impact on the ecosystem. We're not really playing God, in my opinion. We're just doing what humans have always done, is engineer solutions. And that's what we do, and that's what the public expects us to do.
I found myself craving a broader perspective from someone who could see the forest for the trees, or in this case, the weather system for the ice crystals. I met up with my internet friend Jackson to ask him what his thoughts are about how we integrate a technology like cloud seeding into our climate action plan.
We are not at the Weather Mod Conference. We are at the refuge, aptly named. Jackson and I have known each other from Instagram, but this is the first time we met in real life at a Weather Mod Conference, which is pretty cool.
My background is in cloud physics, which is like understanding essentially how snowflakes form in clouds.
Yeah.
And the physics that govern that, along with the fluid dynamics that govern transport in these systems.
We've been modifying weather since we began cultivating fields. There are examples of our modification that have been effective and some that have been destructive. How are we supposed to think about this type of science as it progresses?
It's very easy to sort of get this tunnel vision around things that might have emotional effects because you've watched some, scary movie about some dangerous government scientist doing this sort of thing. But like, cloud seeding's been around for 70 years. And it's had these interesting moments of belief and disbelief and fear and all of these different things. But when you get down to it, it's like, it's no different than one of these technologies that's just burgeoning into the ecosystem of, we need to understand it better so we can make better decisions around it.
Right,
no different
right.
than nuclear, no different than any of these sorts of things. And the acceptance of we will always know more basically means that you have to protect the good outcomes of new understanding at all costs. And this is a perfect example of that, because if it is done in an incorrect way, then you can have poor outcomes.
Jackson raises a good point. So how do we change the public's perception of cloud seeding enough to at least be able to understand the implications of this technology at a broader scale?
Maybe there needs to be a rebrand of the cloud seeding world.
Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, like, we've talked about this at length because it's something that, you know, scientists are absolute at. They'll just say exactly what it is and never sugarcoat it or never, like, try to sculpt it into something that you can actually write a narrative to make people understand and, you know, digest it in their own time and space.
Right.
And, like, one of these things that first comes to mind is the phrase cloud seeding agent. Like, what
Dude, what the is that?
phrase, and like something that we've been pushing forward is the use of just the phrase cloud seed.
Yeah.
And it's such a nuanced shift that changes the perception around the phrase so deeply.
Yeah.
And like there's no way to say that humans have any sense of objective truth when literally you can change someone's opinions about something by literally doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I like my clouds dusty.
I went to Las Vegas and all I got was this damn cloud.
I went to Las Vegas and all I got was a lesson on water sustainability. As we leave the glitz of Vegas behind, I'm left to resolve my emotional contempt for the city and skepticism of cloud seeding with the potential for them to provide some answers to our water crisis.
We'll see what comes out of it.
You're gonna squeeze it?
I'm gonna squeeze, yeah, this is the fish squeezing.
In the next episode, we're heading to the lowest reaches of the San Juan River, a major tributary of the Colorado. We'll be joining Returning Rapids, a group dedicated to documenting the changes in this crucial waterway.